3 crucial questions to ask yourself when buying equipment. These are the must-ask questions before you buy a new piece of equipment. It doesn't matter where you're at in business. These 3 questions will help clarify if you should buy that piece of equipment. What's going on, guys? My name is Will. I'm with Military Lawn Cuts, and my wife and I, we've built a business that does over $600,000 in revenue in our lawn care business. We just opened a second location, and we are going to be talking about buying new equipment. This is a question that I get asked so many times on YouTube, in person when I meet other people, and just really, should I buy a new mower, a new weed eater, this tractor, this skid steer, whatever it is? We're going to go into the thought process that we use before we actually go out and buy new equipment. Now, we have purchased a lot of 21-inch mowers. We have 6 trucks. We have a $8,000 spray rig on the back of one of our trucks. So we've made some pretty big purchases in our time. So I'm going to share with you these 3 core fundamental questions that we ask ourselves before we buy or pull the trigger. So the first one is going to be we ask ourselves the number of days and the number of hours that we are actually going to be using this piece of equipment. Now, if you're just starting out your business, and let's say you have 1 or 2 or 3 customers, it does not make sense for you to go out and buy a big zero-turn mower that costs $8,000, $10,000, $12,000. It doesn't make sense. You need to get the sales first and the customers first before you go out and buy new equipment. So I'll share a story with you. There was a team member of ours that was kind of like nudging me a lot to buy a 30-inch mower. And a lot of our properties, they're all under 8,000 turf square feet. We literally just use the Toro commercial 21-inch mowers, and it works out just fine. So this particular team member, who doesn't work here anymore, but that doesn't matter. Basically, he was like, "Hey, Will, I think we need to get a 30-inch mower for the bigger lots." And I said, "You know what? I hear what you're saying. Let me ask a buddy of mine who has a 30-inch mower." And so I did, and he let us borrow the 30-inch mower for the day. And we put him on a route that had roughly probably like the 4,000 to 6,000, 7,000 turf square feet lots. And so he went out. He brought his 21-inch mower and his 30-inch mower, and when he got back at the end of the day, I said, "How was the route? How was the 30-inch mower?" He said, well, I never pulled it off the truck." And I said, "Well, why not? We gave you kind of our somewhat bigger properties. I mean, they weren't the biggest that we have, but like, why not?" He said, "Well, the properties were too small. The 21-inch mower just worked well." And I said, in my mind, I'm like, okay, thank you. You verified what I was trying to figure out. And that's the reason why I share that story with you, is because I am not, as a business owner, going to spend $3,000 on a 30-inch commercial mower for it to sit in the garage 4.5 days out of the week and only be used for 4 hours out of the week on the very, very big 8,000 turf square feet lawns that we have. Like I said, majority of our lawns are like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 square feet. I'd say that's 75%. So that's what I look at is, well, how many days of the week is this asset actually going to be used, and how many hours? If it's going to sit longer than it's being used, you probably don't need to buy it. Make do with what you have now, build up the capital, fill in the customers for that size, and then purchase the piece of equipment. All right, so number 2 is going to be the time it takes to pay back what you paid for it. Now, this is a big one, because anytime in business, when you're dealing with spending capital, any good business owner asks himself, what is my rate of return and how long is it going to take to get my money back? When you watch Shark Tank, okay, that is in the forefront of their brains. If you've ever watched Shark Tank, basically they have a investor, or there's like 6 sharks and investors sitting around a table, and basically a business owner comes in and tries to sell them why they should give $300,000 for 10% equity in their company. And so one of the questions in the forefront of their brains is, if I give you this $300,000 on this business, how long is that going to take for me to get that money back? And that is a question that you should be asking yourself before you purchase this piece of equipment. Oftentimes I get asked by new applicators that are just getting in the fertilizing and the weed control realm. And they're like, hey, Will, I want to buy this $8,000 spray rig, pull the hose, spray the lawn, put my pre-emergence down, and get in and get out like you do. And I said, okay, that's great. Let's put that on the goal board. Like, that's where we want to go. But first question I ask is, how many customers do you have? Oh, well, I only have 10 customers. Okay, let's break this down. So $8,000 spray rig, only 10 customers. How long is that going to take for you to make that money back? It's going to probably take you years, 5 to 10 years to make that money back. Now, I understand you're going to continue to market. I understand you're going to grow your business. You're going to fill it in. But at the end of the day, Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will go wrong. A recession might happen. COVID might happen. Something might go wrong. In this moment right now, how long will it take for you to pay that piece of it, or to get that money back that you invest into this new piece of equipment? Okay, so that's something that I would definitely ask, because there's other avenues. So like in this scenario where this new applicator is like, hey, I want to buy this big spray rig. Well, how about we buy a $500 spreader and just do a granular program for the first year or two until you get, close to 100 to 150 customers, to where then it makes sense to flip the switch, buy the $8,000 spray rig, and go out and make some money and fill in your schedule. Okay, so that's definitely a key question that you want to ask yourself when you're buying a new piece of equipment. All right, number 3 is going to be, what is the opportunity cost of you spending this money on this piece of equipment? Okay, when you are just starting out your business, it is crucial that you spend your dollars wisely. Okay, what is opportunity cost? Opportunity cost is, let me kind of break it down in a simple manner. So let's say, for example, that this is going to be super extreme, but I'm going to kind of clarify to you the different options. So let's say, for example, you're standing in a 7-Eleven line gas station and you're trying to check out, and there's a $2 Snicker bar right there, right? So you could choose to buy that $2 Snickers and eat it and get that satisfaction for the 2 minutes that you eat the Snickers. Okay, that's option number 1. Okay. But what I would question and challenge is, what is that opportunity costing you to buy that $2 Snickers? And so here are your other options, and their options are really endless, but this is what I want you guys to think. Take the principle behind it, is if you took that $2 and bought maybe, a lottery ticket, maybe bought 2 $1 lottery tickets and won $50,000 off of that. Like, I'm not promoting gambling, and I definitely don't. This is a horrible scenario of what I'm trying to explain here. But I just want you guys to understand the different opportunities that it's costing you to make that decision. So somebody could buy a couple lottery tickets, maybe make $25,000, $50,000, or you could be walking down the street and maybe see somebody who's in need, and you give them $2 for them to get some food from McDonald's or something. I don't even know if fries are $2 anymore. So for example, I'm going to break this down into something similar here. So I had an individual come to me and ask if he should, in his beginning days of his lawn care business, if he should paint his trucks a certain color. And he only has one truck currently right now. And I said, well, let's break this down, okay? How much is it going to cost for you to get your truck painted? And let's just call it $1,000, right? It's going to be $1,000 to paint the truck a certain color. I said, okay, well, what is the reasoning behind you wanting to paint the truck? Well, what color is it now? And I think it was like red at the time. I said, okay, which was not his brand or coloring from his logo. Okay, this is why he wanted to paint his truck a certain color. He wanted to carry out his brand through everything he did, and I understand that. I definitely understand that. But this particular individual was doing close to probably $100,000 annual revenue. Okay, he's not this big conglomerate, business that needs to push out this brand and image just yet. He's still kind of in that beginning phases of building a business. And I said, okay, so you could take that $1,000 and go paint your truck whatever color it was. Let's call it blue, right? You can go and instead of it being red, you can paint it blue to kind of match your logo. Okay, what is that going to do for you? Let's break this down. Let's walk through it. Okay, from a long-term aspect, it will probably start to create some kind of image in the customer's mindset of like, okay, blue truck, here every week, okay, got it. But is that going to directly make money right now? And the answer is no, it's not. Just because you paint your truck doesn't mean people are going to call and be like, hey, I saw a blue truck. I need lawn care services. Now, if you put your logo on the truck, that's a different scenario, but we're just talking about painting the truck. So what is the opportunity costing this individual to take that $1,000 and go buy or to go paint the truck? Instead, what if that person took that $1,000, put it in EDDM marketing, put it in flyers, put it in building out his website to generate an additional 25 customers to take his business from $100,000 to $150,000. And then what happens is when you increase that revenue, then let that increase of revenue pay what you want to do for painting the trucks and things like that. But that is what you want to ask yourself. If you go out and buy this piece of equipment, what is the opportunity costing you to take that money and go buy the latest and greatest, fanciest stand-on or sit-down zero turn, right? What if instead of spending $12,000 on this brand new zero turn, what if you took half of that, bought a used one that was 2 or 3 years old but still works and still gets the job done, and then took that other $6,000 and pumped it into marketing and took your business from $100,000 to $300,000. And then from there you can get the new piece of equipment, latest and greatest zero turn. Okay, so what is the opportunity costing you when you are buying this piece of equipment? Now, anytime you're buying equipment, it is extremely important to understand that these are depreciating assets. They do not generally go up in value. Okay, so, but it's really important. I get this question asked so much of, should I buy this new piece of equipment? And to be honest with you, I am not really the person to ask about what type. It doesn't really matter to me, okay? So it really doesn't. If it gets the job done and you can basically make money from it, like, that's great. Find a brand that's local to you and that you have a dealer that can support you with. If the equipment breaks down, that's local, that's close, that you could just take it to, build a relationship with that vendor, and start to go from there when basically buying new equipment. So guys, if you found this video helpful, definitely hit the like button. Leave a comment below. Kind of curious on what you guys walk through in your minds before you buy a piece of equipment. But these are the 3 things that we do. And yeah, like and subscribe.